All right, let's talk about something we all take for granted. You ever wonder how your phone, your laptop, your TV, how they all seem to know what the others are doing? It feels like magic, right? Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain and demystify it using some amazing ideas from the book Django REST APIs Demystified. I mean, really think about it for a second. You check the weather on your phone and bam, your smartwatch already has the forecast. Or you add a movie to your watch list on your computer and it's just instantly there on your TV. How in the world do all these different devices, these totally separate apps, talk to each other so seamlessly? Well, that right there is one of the biggest challenges on the modern web. You've got different apps built by totally different teams for completely different devices, and they all have to speak the exact same language. It's like trying to get everyone on Earth to have one single fluent conversation. So, how did they pull it off? The answer is something called an API. And to really get what that means, I want you to picture a restaurant. Think about it. You don't just waltz into the kitchen and start making your own food, right? Of course not. There's an intermediary, a kind of universal waiter. So an API, that stands for Application Programming Interface, is basically that middleman. It's a set of rules, a protocol, that lets different software applications talk to each other. Just like a waiter, it takes your order, goes to the kitchen, and brings back exactly what you asked for. And here's the key part. You, the customer, have no idea how the kitchen actually works. You don't need to. So let's walk through this step by step. Step 1. You're the customer. You tap a button in your movie app to see what's playing. That's your order. Step 2. The API, our trusty waiter, grabs that request and heads off. Step 3. It takes the order to the back-end server, which is our kitchen. The kitchen whips up the dish, finding all the data you asked for. And finally, step 4. The API brings that data, your dish, right back to your app. And boom, the movie listings pop up on your screen. Simple as that. Okay, so we've got a waiter. That's great, but that's not the whole story. For a restaurant to actually work, the waiter and the kitchen need a shared system, right? They need a menu, a standard way to place an order, a common language. And that, my friends, is where REST comes into the picture. I mean, just think about it from the waiter's perspective. How do they know what you want to do? Do you want to see the list of movies? Do you want to add a new movie review? Maybe change your rating on one? Or just flat out delete a review you regret? The waiter can't just guess. There has to be a standardized set of commands. And that set of instructions is called REST. Now, it stands for Representational State Transfer, but don't get hung up on the name. Just think of it as the official rulebook for our restaurant. It creates a consistent style, a standard menu of actions, so that every API understands every request in the exact same way. No confusion. And this is where it all clicks together so beautifully. This menu of actions maps directly to something called HTTP methods. If you just want to read some information, you use a GET request. It's literally like saying, hey waiter, get me the list of movies. Want to create something new? You post it. Add this review to the list. To update an existing thing, you use put or patch. And to delete something, you guessed it, you use delete. It's so elegant and logical, right? All right, so we've got our waiter, the API, and we've got our menu, which is REST. That works perfectly for one restaurant. But what if you wanted to open a whole nationwide chain? Imagine having to build every single kitchen, train every staff member, write every menu, all from scratch for every single location. That sounds like an absolute nightmare. And honestly, that's exactly what building a complex API from scratch feels like. You've got to worry about security, making it efficient, figuring out how to handle thousands of requests at the same time. It is incredibly complex. It's time-consuming, and it is so easy to mess up. But thankfully, you don't have to start from scratch. This is where something called Django REST Framework, or DRF for short, saves the day. It's a powerful and flexible toolkit for building these APIs. The best way to think about it is like a complete 5-star restaurant franchise kit. It gives you all the high-quality, pre-built parts you need to get your restaurant, your API, up and running like fast. So why would you use a kit like this? Well, first off, it's built on the rock-solid foundation of Django, which is huge. Your development is going to be blazing fast because, hey, the kitchen's already built for you. Security is baked right in. It's like having a top-notch security team from day one. It's also super flexible, so you can customize it for whatever you need. And maybe most importantly, it's been battle-tested by some of the biggest companies out there, so you know you can trust it. Okay, so what are the key ingredients inside this restaurant kit? Let's peek under the hood and look at two of the most critical components that make the whole thing tick: serializers and views. This breaks it down perfectly. The serializer, that's your master chef in the kitchen. Its whole job is to take all this complicated information from the database and translate it into a simple, beautiful format, like JSON, that the app can actually understand. It's the beautifully plated dish. And the view? Well, that's our waiter again. The view handles the entire customer interaction, from taking the get or post order to working with the chef and bringing that final dish back to the table. And really, that's the key takeaway. It's all about having one single consistent system. You've got the API, which is the waiter. You've got REST, which is the menu. And you've got a framework like DRF, which is the 5-star restaurant kit to build it all. This elegant system, this is the secret language that allows our entire digital world to talk to itself. So now you get it. You understand the fundamental language that powers our connected lives. You know how your phone talks to a server halfway across the world and gets an answer back in a split second. So the only question left is, now that you know how the digital world communicates, what conversation would you start?